I'm David Miles with the Levi Miles Foundation. We had this dream for this playground. Playworld sent us their design and we didn't know what was next. This is when we connected with Patrick and Levi Smith and Associates.
I'm Patrick Smith. I'm the president of Levi Smith and Associates. Watching David and Shayna's story unfold over the years has been powerful. They unveiled this idea of a park, an all-inclusive park that allowed people, children of all abilities to be able to play together. I knew immediately that Levi Smith and Associates wanted to help bring this project to life. Whenever people begin to think about layering on regulations, that they tend to think that the base cost begins to become more expensive. The approach that we took, you see this a lot at intersections, handicap ramps. You'll see where the sidewalk will depress and move down, and then you have a transition point. Those are where costs come in, and we don't have any of those because it's integrated into the design. If you plan for it on the front end and you don't have to have these interfaces in between these places of confusion, these places of added cost, it's seamless, it flows, it's all inclusive.
Right.
One of the main design considerations that you have to keep in with all sites, not just this one, is how you're going to deal with rainwater. When you have sidewalk areas this large at a slope at less than 2%, you're going to have trouble draining the water off site. So the way we went around that is by using pervious pavement. As you can see, the areas the play equipment is built upon is actually pervious rubber. And when water falls on the concrete, usually you would want to sheet flow it all the way off to one side or the other. But since we have multiple sub areas, we can't really do that. So what we did was grade the concrete sidewalk slightly towards each of the sub areas. And when it reaches the sub area, it will infiltrate through the rubber into gravel reservoir underground. There are perforated HDPE pipes that will convey the water off-site and away from the concrete area.
Not only is this playground a certified inclusive playground, it is also the largest and most accessible playground in the entire state.
As far as I know, David, it's the largest, most inclusive playground in the country. The standard that you have created here, there is no other place like it that I've ever seen. I have seen inclusive playgrounds, and you're right, it's a few pieces of equipment. They're smaller. They don't take everything into consideration. This is going to be the new standard.
Besides doing the original design, we also did a lot of construction oversight. A lot of times when we're building sites, the installation doesn't quite match the original design drawing. So there are changes in slope, elevation. This is an area that we had to adjust during construction. The plans had measured from the center line of the post instead of the outside of the post. So we were left with about 6 inches less sidewalk. So what we did was shortened up the planning area to allow us to have an 8-foot sidewalk and maintain that 8-foot sidewalk all the way around the site.
Playworld, the manufacturer of the equipment that you have here, they're a national distributor of the equipment. They are in awe of what you've done.
Yes.
And so their standards are even exceeded in this playground. Will, our lead engineer on this project, worked with Playworld to get the intricacies of all of these pieces of equipment, the clearances, the dimensions. Some of these canopies and poles, you don't see that a lot of the work is below grade.
Yeah.
So there was a tremendous amount of engineering and design that had to go in so that we could pass the vision that you had on to the builders, to the contractors.
So it gives me a lot of pride in designing something that everybody can use. This isn't your run-of-the-mill playground. You know, this is a very special place for special people.
You know, most playgrounds are built, I didn't know this until we were going through this process, but most playgrounds are built on a flat surface. With this not being a flat surface, because we have to incorporate the drainage and the storm water and the drain water into everything on this project because of how big it is, that could be challenging for a lot of people to do that. It was nothing but a thing for y'all as I would pick up the phone and say, hey, this is flat. I might be off 2/10 right here. Are we gonna be okay? You know, calling Will up and he said, let me check to make sure. And it just made that process seamless all the way throughout.
great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.